My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Hawk. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But the reception to this movie is very interesting because on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 63% from the critics. Okay, not bad. But it has a 29% from the audience. On IMDb, it has a very bad 5.6 rating, and on Letterboxd, it has an average rating of 2.4. So this movie isn't well liked, but it does have its passionate fans. There are people who love this movie and defend it, so I was really hoping that would be the case for me. Um, to be honest, I did watch this movie as a kid, but I remembered nothing about it. So I like the Fantastic Four movies. I love Spider Man 3. I like Daredevil. I was hoping to like this one. I really wanted to be one of its passionate defenders, and unfortunately, I'm not. So let's begin by talking about the cast. And I'm not too familiar with Eric Bana. I know he's in Troy, which I haven't seen, and he's pretty decent in Star Trek. But here, he's awful. He's a terrible lead, and I just thought it was a very flat, uninteresting performance. Jennifer Connelly is a great actress, and she's fine here. I wish she had more material to work with. Sam Elliott does a fine job, but he's severely underwritten. Josh Lucas, I actually like because this guy is such an asshole, and he does a good job at that. Nick Nolte, I like as an actor, love him in Warrior and Over the Hedge, but he's given such weak material and he just can't elevate it. So the cast is pretty bad for the most part, and the story is frustrating because this movie is actually trying to do interesting things. It's trying to explore generational trauma. It's trying to explore how someone represses their childhood memories. It's also exploring anger repression. And okay, like this is a good character to explore those themes with. The movie just doesn't do it well. Like the actual execution of everything is just awful. And I think a big reason why is because this movie just lacks any emotion. There is never a point where I felt myself getting emotional. And this is a story about a man who discovers his entire life was a lie, who discovers his dad tried to kill him as a kid, who discovers that his dad killed his mom, and there's no emotion. Like, at that point, this movie just fails. It completely fails. And he turns into a monster, and it never feels as scary as it should. And also, the characters aren't interesting. The movie is also 2 hours and like 17 minutes. Why? There is no justification for that one time. There is not enough substance for that one time. This movie should have been 90, maybe 100 minutes max. That's it. Because this movie feels dragged out and it has atrocious pacing. Like, you combine that with a very unengaging plot, and what you get is a very bored Gavin. But then let's talk about the direction by Ang Lee. And Ang Lee is a weird director. Like, I don't really care for Sense and Sensibility. It's just not my type of movie. I don't like Brokeback Mountain, not my type of movie. Billy Lane's halftime show feels like it didn't even exist. Like, I know I saw it, but I forget everything about that movie. But Life of Pi is good. What else? Gemini Man sucks. Yeah, maybe I don't like him as a director. But that said, his directing is the best part of this movie because this movie's got style. The editing is so creative and so unique, and I know some people hate it. I love it. I love how this movie feels like a comic book brought to life in moments, and it's just a very interesting, memorable touch. There's also some cool dynamic camera work. I love how green this movie is. Like, there's these gamma infected dogs getting beaten up, and instead of blood, it's like these green puffs. And I like that. And Danny Elfman's score is actually pretty good. Like, just a do. It sounds a little Spider-Man-ish at times, but it still feels like its own thing. But this is where I'm mixed on the direction, because I like it, it's the best part of the movie, but it doesn't go with this movie. The script and the direction are two completely different tones. And this movie just feels odd, and not in a good, compelling way. Like, yes, this movie has goofy visuals, and yes, this movie has hawk dogs, and yes, this movie has this dude who absorbs anything he touches. And by the way, that scene is cool. But then you've also got this very slow-paced character movie where almost nothing happens for a good hour, and this collision of tones, it doesn't work. The movie feels at battle with itself throughout. Just like Bruce Banner is fighting the Hawk internally, this movie is fighting its own tone, and I don't think it ever really clicks for me. There's interesting ideas here, there's some cool directing touches, absolutely, but the movie as a whole is just a mess, and the action kind of sucks, to be honest. Like, it's nowhere near as destructive or as thrilling or as tense as it should be. Like, this is a monster movie. Where's the tension? And the final battle is just so shitty. Like, really, you want to end the movie off on that note? Whatever. So yeah, I don't like this movie. I can respect certain qualities about it. It's certainly more interesting than some slop we get nowadays. But at the same time, I was bored. I thought the performances sucked, and I just don't think this movie comes together. So I'm giving Hawk a 3.5 out of 10. It's a fascinating mess, at least. But I would never watch it again. Anyways, Hawk, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.